Like I'm still figuring out who I am as an artist. I'm still finding my way. I'm still learning. So the fact that that's a
Yeah, no.
and surreal.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's almost been like half a year already. It's
Yeah.
been out. And I'm like, whoa, I feel like it just came out yesterday, but I feel like the older I get, time flies quicker. Where
Yeah.
back in the day, it took like 10 years to get through 1 year, I feel, or one
Yep.
summer. Now
Yeah.
it's like crazy.
Going.
Yeah, go,
Yes.
go, 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 go.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but how, like making the music videos, because I
Mm.
love what you did. Which one did you enjoy the most that you just were like, maybe that you were more
Hmm.
uptight or nervous about?
Um, Oh my gosh. Well, Drive Back is special because it was my first
Mm-hmm.
visual. And I mean, if you all watched the show, you saw there was some drama
No.
surrounding that video. And then there was even more drama that you all didn't get to see, just getting to um, the actual shoot day and, stuff going on with people that were helping with the video. It was a lot of crazy drama. But that was when that was done, I was like, wow, like we really did that.
Yeah.
Um, so that was special. But probably creatively, I feel like Is It Enough? It's just so like black ass, as Jill
Yeah.
Scott would say. And um
The water
just
scene.
yes,
Yeah.
which I'll give you a little fun fact because there was chaos. There's always chaos when you're
Okay.
shooting a music video. Okay. So we shot Is It Enough over 2 days. And the second day, we ran out of time at the studio. We were shooting at a studio. We ran out of time at that studio. They like kicked us out. They're like, you got to
Uh-huh.
go. We have somebody else coming in. You got to leave. So we were barely finishing that scene. And we still had a whole other scene, the milk bath scene to
Uh-huh.
shoot. And I'm like freaking out, like, how are we going to get this done? Like my team is going to be on overtime and excuse me. And luckily my videographer team, Mignote and Mansa, they actually shoot with Jasmine Sullivan and on a lot of her visuals. They were so gracious and so cool. And they were like, oh, we're going to go to dinner. And I was like, do you guys can we shoot it at my house? Like, can we
Uh-huh.
somehow figure out how to shoot this last scene at my house? We were going to like fill up this tub of water and put it in my foyer.
Uh-huh.
And Mignote, who's she's the lead of this amazing team. She was like, no, we don't want to get water in your house. Let's do it in the backyard. So in a blow up pool, like a kiddie pool,
Uh-huh.
they blew it up in my backyard and filled it with water and milk and the flowers. It was like 40, maybe less degrees outside. I
Ooh.
was naked. I had pasties on and flesh toned underwear. And at one point I had on like a bandeau top, but
Hmm.
for what you saw, I was like nothing and
Yeah.
flesh toned undergarments. And I'm in this kiddie pool of water, like shivering and trying to be sexy and sing. It was like, this is crazy. And then I was still in school. I'm still in school now, and I had an assignment due. So in between shots, I would run inside, be wrapped in a towel, sit in front of my fireplace, and be working on my homework,
Waiting
and
for the
then run
next
back
set.
out.
Right?
Yeah, waiting for the next shot. So that just, and then all of the different hairstyles and the wardrobe. Karen Sabag, my gown designer, she designs all my gowns for the reunion. She did my wedding gowns. She
Hmm. It
designed
was
that
beautiful.
braided dress that you saw. Thank you. That
Yes.
gorgeous braided dress that you saw. That was her brainchild, her creation. Um, like all of the looks were just so unique. The hair in that scene where all of our hair was braided together,
Uh-huh.
like it was just so creative and cool. So that was probably my favorite if I had to pick a favorite.
Okay. Well, yeah, April 2018, the world got introduced to Candace. And
Ah!
I was so happy because I think you were just a breath of fresh air for the
Thank you.
show. I think you were just what they needed. I think it was just a great move on your end, I feel. It was needed, I feel, because in my opinion, I was getting a little bored.
Yeah.
But you brought fun. I mean, the drama that comes, it's just life. But
Yeah.
the fun, you were always so fun. You were always,
Yeah.
you stood your ground. You're
Mm-hmm.
very, smart, passionate, beautiful. You
Thank you.
always stood your
Thank
ground.
you.
You're always so put together. You're like,
Oh,
I was always saying,
that's
Candace
right.
never has a bad, like,
Oh, God bless
take.
you.
Yeah, I was like, she always, because sometimes on the Housewives,
It's a hit or miss. It can
yeah,
be hit or miss.
it's a hit or miss, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what did that feel like? Still like, it's crazy that that's 4 years ago now.
That
And
is insane to think about. Yeah. I think about that all the time that I have 4 going into 5 seasons on this show. It
yeah.
feels like just yesterday. It still feels like yesterday. And then I look at like I feel like my makeup and my hair has grown by leaps and bounds, but I feel like
hmm
all housewives feel that way. You come in, I remember telling Wendy when she first started, I said, you're going to look at yourself on camera and you're going to say, oh my God, get me out of here. And you're going to go and get new wigs, new eyebrows, new everything. And she got new boobs and a new butt too.
I don't
So
know.
like
yep.
you always like come back and review everything and say, I want to make changes. So I definitely am. I see the growth and the way that I looked from the
Uh-huh.
first season, but I, you know, I watched some of the scenes from my first season, and I'm like, I honestly did not think in my first season that I did enough. I
Oh, I
remember
think you did.
talking
I loved
to,
it.
yeah,
You
well,
were
my
you were
one of
bomb.
our SVPs, I was talking to her about it years ago, and I was like, yeah, I feel like my first season wasn't good. She was like, what, are you kidding me? Like your first season was amazing. And I
Yes.
look back and I'm like, wow, I guess, but I just always felt like just, I could have stood up for myself more. But then I'll see scenes where when we were in Nemacolin and where the infamous "I came from Jesus" came from, and I'm like, okay, you stood your ground there. You did
mm-hmm.
enough. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
did. Because if I'm not mistaken, your first scene was walking into the Oz restaurant, right?
Yes,
That was the
actually, yes. She
that was
had
the
a
intro.